Have you ever heard of a book that no one in the world can read? A book filled with bizarre plants that don't exist, strange astrological charts, and flowing script in a language that has baffled the greatest minds for over a century? This isn't the plot of a fantasy novel. This is the true story of the Voynich manuscript, the world's most mysterious book. For centuries, this medieval enigma has been locked away, its secrets held tight within its vellum pages. It's been called everything from a lost language to an elaborate hoax, but what if the answer is something far more clever? What if we've been looking at it all wrong? Today, we're diving deep into the history, the mystery, and a fascinating new theory that suggests the Voynich manuscript might not be a language at all, but one of the most sophisticated ciphers of its time. Stick around because we're about to try and crack a code that has stumped spies, linguists, and supercomputers. The story begins in 1912 when an antique book dealer named Wilfrid Voynich stumbled upon a strange manuscript in a chest of old books at a Jesuit college near Rome. From the moment he laid eyes on it, he was captivated. The book was small, about 240 pages long, and filled with handwritten text and colorful illustrations. But the writing was unlike anything he had ever seen. The alphabet was completely alien, and the drawings were, well, they were otherworldly. There were sections that seemed to be herbal, showcasing detailed drawings of plants, but none of them matched any known species on Earth. Some had roots that looked like tiny people, while others had leaves and flowers combined in impossible ways. Then there were the astronomical sections, with intricate diagrams of suns, moons, and stars arranged in patterns that didn't align with any known cosmology. The biological section is perhaps the strangest, featuring drawings of nude figures, mostly women, bathing in interconnected tubs, and pools filled with green liquid, all linked by a network of bizarre plumbing. Naturally, Voynich became obsessed. He dedicated the rest of his life to decoding the manuscript, but he made no progress. And he wasn't alone. After his death, the manuscript was passed down and eventually donated to Yale University's Beinecke Rare Book and Manuscript Library, where it resides today. Since its discovery, the manuscript has been a magnet for codebreakers. During World War II, even the legendary cryptographer William Friedman, who helped break Japan's Purple Code, took a crack at it. He spent years analyzing the text, looking for patterns. He found some certain words appear more frequently than others, and some characters tend to appear at the beginning or end of words, just like in a real language. But after all his efforts, he too came up empty-handed. He concluded it was likely an early attempt at a constructed artificial language. This is where the theories really start to fly. Is it a lost language from a forgotten civilization? Some have suggested it's a form of early Ukrainian with the vowels removed. Others believe it's a transcription of a Southeast Asian language using a custom alphabet. One of the most persistent theories is that the entire thing is just an elaborate hoax. Perhaps a clever fraud from the 15th or 16th century created it to sell to a wealthy, gullible collector like the Holy Roman Emperor Rudolph II, who was known for his interest in alchemy and the occult and was once an owner of the book. The problem with the hoax theory is that the text is surprisingly complex. When you analyze it statistically, it follows certain linguistic rules, like Zipf's law, which describes word frequency in natural languages. A simple hoax probably wouldn't be this sophisticated. It would be incredibly difficult to fake these patterns so consistently over 240 pages. So if it's not a hoax and not a simple substitution cipher, what is it? This brings us to a compelling new line of thinking that has gained traction in recent years. What if the Voynich manuscript is a product of its time, a time when ciphers were becoming incredibly complex? In the 15th century, Italy was a hotbed of political intrigue. City-states were constantly vying for power, and secret communication was essential. This led to a golden age of cryptography. Simple substitution ciphers, where you just swap one letter for another, were no longer secure. So, cryptographers developed more advanced techniques. They invented polyalphabetic ciphers, where a single letter could be encrypted in multiple ways. They used nulls, meaningless symbols thrown in to confuse codebreakers. And they used nomenclators, which were part code, part cipher systems that replaced entire common words with symbols. Imagine you're a diplomat in 15th century Milan. You need to send a secret message back to your duke. You wouldn't just use a simple AB, C equals D cipher. You might have several different cipher alphabets you switch between. You might have special symbols for words like Pope, Venice, or attack, and you probably sprinkle in some junk symbols just to throw off anyone trying to intercept your message. The result would look like gibberish, but to someone with the key, it would be perfectly readable. This is the world the Voynich manuscript was born into. And a recent study by researcher Lisa Fagan Davis, a specialist in medieval manuscripts, and computer scientist Torsten Timm, has explored this exact possibility. They suggest the manuscript isn't written in a language, but is encrypted using a system similar to these advanced Italian ciphers. The so-called words might not be words at all. They could be a combination of encrypted letters and symbolic codes. Let's break that down. A single word in the Voynich manuscript could be a mix of different things. Some symbols might represent letters encrypted using a complex multi-alphabet system. Other symbols might be nulls, there for pure confusion. And still others could be abbreviations or logograms, symbols that stand for whole words or concepts, like water or root. The creators could have even used anagrams, scrambling the letters within a word as another layer of security. This would explain why the text has some language-like properties, but has resisted all attempts at direct translation. We're not trying to decipher a language. We're trying to decrypt multiple layers of cryptographic puzzles all at once. This theory also helps explain the bizarre illustrations. What if they aren't meant to be taken literally? The strange plants might not be real plants, but visual keys. Perhaps the number of petals on a flower, the shape of a root, or the color of a leaf tells the reader which cipher key to use for that section. The weird plumbing in the bathing section could be a visual representation of how different parts of the code connect. It transforms the book from a simple text into a multi-layered cryptographic machine. This makes the Voynich manuscript not just a puzzle, but a work of genius. It suggests its creator was not a madman or a con artist, but a master of cryptography, operating at the absolute cutting edge of 5th-10th century technology. They created a system so secure that 600 years later, with all our computers and artificial intelligence, we still can't break it. So, where does that leave us? The mystery is far from solved. Even if it is a sophisticated cipher, we still don't have the key. Without it, the text remains unreadable. It's like having a locked treasure chest with an impossibly complex lock, and the key has been lost to time. But this theory gives us a new direction. It reframes the problem. Instead of looking for a lost language, researchers can now focus on looking for a lost system of encryption. The Voynich manuscript is more than just an old book. It's a testament to human ingenuity and our enduring love of secrets. It's a challenge issued from the past, waiting for someone with the right combination of historical knowledge, linguistic skill, and cryptographic insight to finally solve it. It reminds us that even in our modern world, where information is everywhere, there are still deep, fascinating mysteries waiting to be unraveled. What do you think? Is it an unbreakable cipher, a clever hoax, or something else entirely? Let me know your theories in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into the world of historical mysteries, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the unknown. We'll see you in the next one.